Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Week of Offline. I'm your host Ray. Find me everywhere online at Ramen Brownie. Today we're going to be focusing on advanced execution. One of like 30 different tutorials we're going to have to make. We're going to try and make it short and sweet. I'm going to try and make it into a game so that way it's fun, but it's going to be a drill. And it's going to help you get better at specific execution. All right? So what I had you guys do last time was basic execution, and that's just like, okay, here's my command list. I need to be able to do all my moves 10 times on each side. That's the bare minimum. That's not really going to get you where you need to be in a match. What that's going to get you is proficient enough in knowing what your actual command list is and how to get your moves off. Because sometimes in the middle of a match, you'll forget how to do that. So what we're going to do today is a little bit more specific. We're going to call it applied execution, not really advanced execution. And we're going to specifically focus on anti-airs and throw techs. So we're going to use some really important tools in the training room. So remember, the week of offline is my dedicated week of just training room time. No online play. No rank, no casual, no battle lounge. No nothing like that. I'm not going to worry about points. I'm not going to worry about ranks or titles or any crap like that. I'm going to maximize my training time. I'm going to pour as much time as possible into getting better at the game and getting a better framework, more stronger bones, better foundation so my house of Street Fighter doesn't crumble. So I'm going to start like I start just about every training session. I'm going to go into the grid. The grid's great for spacing. Use the damn lines. And since I'm doing anti-airs and throw techs, I'm going to use Nash because Nash has really good range on his throws. I want you to get used to that. He can throw from like, it feels like half the damn screen away. All right? So we're going to get right into this. All right, guys. So we're going to get into our basic setup. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn on our key display and our attack data. And if you remember, if you have the shortcuts on, you can just hit your good old-fashioned touchpad here, or you can go in options, you can go down to attack data and key display and turn those things on. So what we want to set, since this is going to be a game, is our health gauges to normal, because we're going to jump right into this thing. So the great thing about training mode is it does remember your settings. So I've already done a lot of playback recording with Nash and several other characters. But for your benefit, I'm going to go back into it again. I'm going to show you what's going on. All right, guys, so here's probably the most important part of the entire video, and that's where we're actually going to learn how to set up the drill. I'm going to go into dummy settings. I'm going to turn the status to playback recording. I don't care about anything else at this point. I'm going to go into action recording settings. I want my start recording settings to be on button input. I don't want anything to start until I've actually hit a button or hit the stick. Next, my interval setting is going to be set to 0. I don't want to add any additional time at the beginning. What I want you guys to remember is that you're going to have to add some time at the end. So now we're going to go into recording slot 1. Like I said, none of these are empty for me because I've been using several characters to record several playback actions. All right. So in this case, what I want to do at Nash, and you could decide whatever first action you want. For simplicity's sake, I'm going to have Nash do a neutral jump at the beginning of each of these things. So he's going to neutral jump, and then in my case, he's going to jump forward, and then moderately deep to make sure it hits. I'm going to hit medium kick, all right? So not the apex of the jump, on the way down. And you'll know it worked because when you're coming on the way down, you'll actually hit your character. So I'm going to start recording. Nothing's happening because it's waiting for an input. I'm going to jump up. I'm going to jump forward. I'm going to hit medium kick. I'm going to wait about an extra second. Then I'm going to stop. I'm going to back out of here. I'm going to reset. And then I'm going to test to make sure it's good. So I'm going to go to action playback settings. My replay interval is set to 0. My recording slot, the one I just recorded, I'm going to set that to on. Okay? I'm going to back out of here. As soon as I back out of here, it's going to start. So he jumps up. He hits. He waits. He jumps up. He goes. That's perfect. That's all I want. So we're going to go back in action playback settings. We're going to turn off your number 1 recording slot. We're going to back out of here. We're going to reset to neutral. Now we're ready for the next thing. Something I like to do, and we're going to go down to recording slot 2, is dash throw. So I'm going to neutral jump. I'm going to have Nash dash forward, and then I'm going to hit my throw input, which is light punch plus light kick. Ready? Here we go. Up, dash, boom, Wait another second. That's it. So I'm going to test to see if it's valid. So I'm going to come back out here. I'm going to reset the center. I'm going to go into my playback settings. I'm going to turn on recording slot number 2. And then as soon as I back out, we're going to see if it's valid. Wait a second. Awesome. Go back in and we're going to turn off recording slot 2. Same deal here. We're going to reset back to the center. And I'm going to get ready to do number 3. So number 3 is going to be neutral jump, jump forward. At the apex of the jump, I'm going to hit heavy kick. And the reason I'm going to hit it at the apex is I don't want it to hit the character while he's standing. And I will demonstrate the reason for all this momentarily. I'm going to start recording. Jump up, didn't hit. Wait an extra second. Okay, good. We're done there. We're going to reset. I'm going to come into action playback settings. I'm going to turn on number 3. And then didn't hit. Neutral jump, forward. Perfect. Reset back to center. Okay, guys. So we've got the drills set up. Now we actually have to turn them into a game. So it's more likely that we do them and continue doing them and get better at this. So remember, we're doing anti-airs and we're teching throws. So the inputs for both can be as simple or as complex as you need them to be. For Nikali and for a lot of characters, a standing light punch or light kick is pretty good. So for Nikali, standing light punch or jab, really good bet. He's also got the option of a medium kick. He's got a crouching fierce, and he's sort of got his regular fierce and roundhouse, but those are more for like when they're like jumping in from way outside. But even better, he's got his DP, which is his raging light, and he's got different flavors of it. So I'm going to stick with the basic hard punch or the EX version. Forward, down, forward punch. That's what I want. There's the EX version, okay? So when he comes in for the throw, and I'll show you this right now, I'm going to come in here, I'm going to turn on recording slot 2. He's going to immediately start. That's what I want. And all I did there was I hit light punch plus light kick together. So if I hit it at the right time, I get a throw escape. If I hit it too early, he gets a throw escape because he's in the middle of his input. So notice what happens when he gets throw escape, I get pushed back. So I'm losing position. So you want to wait a little bit longer, which is a little bit riskier. However, you're pushing him back versus him pushing you back. That's all you're practicing there, okay? Don't worry about hitting the stick or anything else. I'm going to reset to neutral. Now, let's get to the rules for this game. Our health gauges are set to normal, which means they will drain, and then one of us will get knocked out. So, if he's in the air, only hit him with anti-airs, okay? If he's about to throw you, only throw tech him. If you do it way too early, you're going to throw him. That shouldn't count. That's not the point of the game. The point of the game is to throw tech. If he throws you, well, you take the damage. If he's jumping in and you mess up your execution and you end up jumping, you eat that damage. If he lands and you hit him anyway, well, you should probably let him get some free damage in on you. So for me, I'm going to turn on all 3 recording slots. I'm going to run through this, and you can make it as easy or as difficult as you want. So if you want to make it easier, turn on just 1 or 2 at a time. Maybe set up an interval so it takes longer for them to run. And of course, you can look at the display in the middle of the screen because it's going to show you which slot's about to play. You can also see his key display on the right, which is showing you what's actually happening. If you want to make it harder, set up all 3. Maybe set up some alternate ones in a 4 and 5 slot. Turn off key display. You can leave on attack data. And if you really want to make it difficult, you can use these. This is just a sticky pad. So I'm playing on a gaming monitor. So it's very easy for me to take 3 or 4 of these, stick it on the screen, and cover up that display so I don't know which slot's actually about to start playing. So let's go ahead and get into this. So that was actually okay. It was kind of basic. If you notice a couple things, there were some jumps in there. So if you're noticing that you're jumping, take an actual look at your display inputs and see what's happening. Maybe you're not timing your button presses right. Maybe you're going up and then you're hitting punch and you're already in a jump animation. So it becomes far more likely you're actually going to get hit and you're not going to get the move you want. Remember, what we're practicing here is execution. You want to be able to get the move you want exactly when you want it. And in this case, when you need it, which is when he's already in the air. If you're getting thrown, if you're throwing him first, you need to work on your timing. There's a lot of different things you can play around with here. You can also play around with your spacing. All right, so if you get a little bit closer to him, it makes it a little bit harder for you to anti-air him on reaction. And that's all we're building here. This is your reaction. So if you've already able to see that playback recording slot come up, well, you already have a general idea of what's coming up. So if you want to go into that 4 or 5 slot and just turn those to, well, no neutral jump, we're just going to jump in and immediately do something like a light kick or, a heavy punch. Do that. It's all about doing this at your pace. But if you're coming in here and you're practicing your anti-airs and your throw attacks, you're going to be that much better at doing them in a match once you realize what's actually happening. Now, this is not psychology. This is not teaching you when someone's going to jump and when you need to have the anti-air ready. This is just making sure you've got that muscle memory down to where you're doing that anti-air move on a consistent basis once you realize that a jump in is coming in, or that you're taking a throw once you realize that animation is starting up. Okay? This is part of the foundation you need in order to get better at the game. This is not the end all be all. This is not going to take you to Evo. This is just one part of the process. It's a very simple part of the process that you will see becomes very important at all levels of play. Because in the beginning, in the online world, at lower levels, you're going to get guys who are jumping in on you all day long. You're going to get guys who are dashing and throwing you all day long. And when you get up into the higher levels, you're going to get guys who are masking that. And you need to be able to react to that if you're not getting good reads. So remember, we're building up muscle memory, we're building up reads, and we're trying to make this a game so that we keep doing it, right? So come back tomorrow. We're going to have more stuff going on in the week of offline. I'm your host, Ray. Deuces.